Excuse me. Hello, dreamers, doers, believers, and achievers. I'm Dwayne Shigg, and this is the Encouragement Conversation, the place to talk about your passions, products, and possibilities. We have a great smorgasbord of guests tonight. We have authors, we have singers, we have entrepreneurs, and we have you. So we're going to have a fabulous show. And I know if you regularly watch the show, you will be saying, you say that every week. I do say it every week because I mean it every week. And so we are grateful to all of these powerful people who are joining us tonight. And our show is brought to you tonight in part by my book. One of my books is called How to Be a Good Preacher, Principles in Becoming a Workman That's Not Ashamed. Chapters include follow directions, preparing the messenger and the message, and how to support your pastor. If you're in ministry, pastor, you have ministers under you, this book is what they need. You can get your copy at Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon.com. If you don't remember the name of the book, don't remember my whole name, just put in Shigg at the beginning, and you won't get lost because there's only 4 people on there named Shigg, me, my brother, and my 2 cousins. So you won't have a problem finding us. And so we thank you. Tonight, we have with us some powerful people. We have the author of Life as I Know It from Rancho Cucamonga, California, Mr. Kevin Archery. How are you, sir?
How are you? I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking out the time to bless us on our show on the Encouragement Conversation. So thank you so kindly. And we have another author from Edison, New Jersey. She's an author, she's a mother, she's a grandmother. She's authored the book, The C-Section. Interesting title, Miss Celeste Bullock. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I am grateful to have each of you. You guys are doing a fantastic job. You make me look like I know what I'm doing.
Good.
I appreciate it. And we have Grammy-nominated writer, singer, musician, Mr. Tracy Carter from Rancho Cucamonga. And you need to listen to his song, Only With Your Love. It's going to make you shout. It's going to make you cry. It is a beautiful song. Mr. Tracy Carter, how are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Dwayne. Dr. Dwayne.
Not a problem. Yeah. And the owner, operator, coming to us from Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I want to get this name straight. It's an acronym. It's, excuse me, Bases Loaded, Authentic Clothing and Caps. They sell Negro League material caps and jerseys, Tuskegee Airmen, and the Buffalo Soldiers. Miss Kimberly Green, how are you today?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fabulous, and I thank you once again. You'll probably hear me say thank you about 4 or 5 more times. My grandfather says people don't have to do anything, and so when they do, you ought to say thank you. So I'll probably get on your nerves with it, but that's what my grandfather said, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, each of you are doing some powerful things in your own right. So I want to ask you. Tell me about. I'm going to start with Mr. Kevin and Miss Celeste. Tell me about your book. Give me when I teach marketing for authors, I tell them you don't have to give everything in the whole, so give me a title, a topic, and a tease. Give me 60 seconds, 90 seconds of what your book is about. Your book, Life as I Know It, Mr. Kevin. What is that about?
Life as I Know It is loosely based upon my life experiences. Is really diving into how I was pretty much on a path of what God didn't want me to go in, and making decisions that I felt that was best for me, but wasn't best for what God had for me. And this book pretty much explains, the journey of me finding my way back to what God has planned for me and what the journey is of what he's doing in my life. So that's what this book's about. Life as I Know It, getting off the track and getting back on track.
Okay. I don't want to give too much away, but the way you spell life, is there a story behind that?
No, actually, no. It's just I love Y instead of I. It just makes me different.
Okay. Good marketing tool. Good marketing.
Yeah. It started with my production company. So my music company is Timeless. I spell it with a Y instead of an I as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's good. Miss Bullock, tell me about your book.
Okay, sir. My book is entitled The C-Section. It's all about purpose, discovering your purpose and knowing that in your pain there's purpose. I titled my book The C-Section in reference to women. When we birth out a child and carry a baby, sometimes what you are carrying is too big for you, so we're not able to push it out naturally. And in that instance, you have to have a C-section because your purpose and what you are carrying is too big. And
Wow.
that's what God showed me and my go through and my life struggles, that what I was carrying was too big for me. So I had to be cut meaning abandoned, rejected, mistreated, betrayed. I had to go through all that for purpose. So my book is called The C-Section, Cut for Purpose.
Wow. Interesting title. Wow. Tracy,
Yes, sir.
your song, Only with Your Love. Tell us about that. That is man, I was listening to that song. I told you before when I was listening to it last night. Oh man, it is incredible. So tell
Thank
us a
you.
little bit about the song.
Well, the song came through my wife's prayer time, and she brought it to me, and I actually kind of connected with her prayer time, and I understood exactly what we're going through, especially through this pandemic. Came through the pandemic time, and I know that right now we need God's grace, His peace, and His love to get through life, and through decisions, how we forgive and how we love each other and how we're supposed to respond to each other. So I knew that you couldn't get through life without the love of Christ.
Right, right. I like the way you pieced it together. The first, the way the build up,
Yeah.
His love, His Holy Spirit. Oh man, that is incredible. I like that. I like that.
Thank you so much.
At one time I was a wannabe songwriter. I can't sing. I don't write songs, but I used to work in the industry for a little while. And but I've always liked music. Like I said, I can't play, I can't sing. I sing to my wife. She likes it, not because it sounds good, but she's in love. So interesting. I've always loved music. Miss Kim, your store, your establishment is interesting. Black. Give us the information on that acronym, because I love that. That is very interesting. Tell us about that.
Well, Black, when we first started, we focused on Negro League Baseball. So
Okay.
Black actually stands for Bases Loaded, Authentic Clothing, and Caps with a K. So we would just kind of go by Bases Loaded. But as we expanded and realized the importance of other elements of Black history, we added the Buffalo Soldiers and the Tuskegee Airmen, and then just went by Black because the company encompasses everything Black.
Oh, okay. So are you a baseball fan, baseball person, or you're a history buff, or how did you get started in that?
I've become a baseball history person. I played softball for probably 6 years, middle school going into high school, and then I moved on to track. But this actually started as a birthday gift that turned into a business. And
Wow.
as time has gone on, and I will go into that at the appointed time. I'm not sure if this is that time or not. But being able to spend time with Negro League baseball players, with Tuskegee Airmen, hearing the history, not just seeing it in the books and seeing it on television, but hearing it from the people that actually lived it, gives you a whole new appreciation for what we've done, where we've been, where we are, and where we can be. And there's a lot of history that's just lost, not told. And our focus is just making sure that doesn't happen.
So you had the opportunity to spend some time with some of the Negro League players?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
in fact, just 2 days ago, I was on the phone. We used to do a number of events with players, but obviously as time goes on, we've lost a lot of them. We've been doing this for 20 years now. The one that I deal with the most now is a pastor in Birmingham. His name is William Greason. He played for the Birmingham Black Barons, and he was teammates with Willie Mays.
Wow.
He was also a Montfort Point Marine, which were the first Black Marines. He marched with Dr. King. He attended the church that the 4 little girls were bombed in. And he tells a story that the only reason he was not in church that Sunday was because he skipped to go fishing.
Okay.
So, just hearing the stories and exactly, he decided him and some of his friends were not going to go to church. They snuck out and went fishing, and they were not in church that day. So
of
just
history.
the stories and the backstories that you hear just makes it what we do just amazing.
Right. Miss Celeste, I want to ask you the book. Why did you write this? What made you write this book?
Well, originally, my plan wasn't to be no author or write no book. Instead of venting my problems to everybody, I was just journaling. And as I began to journal and journal and journal, so many events that happened in my life and so many disappointments, as I began to journal and journal, I'm like, okay, this is becoming a story. And I began to keep writing. And it became a story for me. It became my life story from childhood up until adulthood. So, like I said, I didn't intend on being an author. God knew what I would be, but
Right.
I was just journaling. And it became a story, a life story, a book.
So when you were journaling, was there a end in sight, or it was more venting or cathartic? It was basically for you. Is that why you were journaling?
Yes, it was basically just for me. I wasn't trying to give it to nobody. Instead of, telling all your problems to everybody, I was like,
Right.
okay, I'm just going to write it out. This happened. All right. I didn't like this. That happened. I didn't like that. Just begin to write, as I was feeling, disappointments and hurt and pain that I've experienced, I just began to write them down, journal them. But as, I began to write and write and write, it really became a story of mine. And I said, well, somebody else will need what I have. So I began to put it into a book, and I'm like, okay, this will bless somebody as it blessed me. My job now, as God began to speak to me as I was writing, was not that I'm just an author, but my book has purpose. It served purpose, to be a blessing to somebody else, to help them overcome the things that I had to go through. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, yeah, you answered my next question. I was going to ask you what made you turn it into the book, but you answered that. Kevin, same question. Why did you write this book?
Wow. Well, just like Miss Bullock, it was really therapeutic for me. I was actually going through a divorce and going through a rare thing. Well, we feel is rare, but actually abuse, but the opposite, a male being abused by.
Okay.
So it got me to a place to just journal, just writing stuff down. My thoughts, and God was just like, write your thoughts out, write your thoughts out, write your thoughts out. And then eventually he came to me and was like, you're writing a book. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not writing no book. No, I ain't writing no book. No, that ain't what I do. I write songs.
Right.
I do music. I don't write books. You know what I mean? But God was constantly ministering to me and telling me, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So he kept ministering to me and saying, no, this is a book that's going to help you, but help others. And then when I got the opportunity to finish the book, I with help too, because counseling, stuff like that I did do, but I felt just a sense of accomplishment, overcoming, of what happened to me, and able to share, my testimony to other men that were either ashamed to say that they went through it, or don't want to admit that they went through it, or oh man, you're a man, you should be able to handle that stuff. But no, violence is violence, is wrong is wrong. I don't care who's getting it. You know what I mean? And I want to make that known. So this book shined lights on those topics, and really God just elevated me to a area that I didn't know I had in myself. So this book really is to minister to those men to make right choices, to follow God in everything you do, and ask God, in every decision that you are facing, that you have to make, and so that's what this book is really about. And it's a series. So this is the first one. So I want to make that clear. This is the first one. The second one is called Life as I Know It, The Eruption. So that's where things just fall apart. The third one is called Life as I Know It, The Elevation. I'm living the elevation right now. So
yeah. And I think it's interesting that you would be transparent to say that you were the one that was being abused, because as men, our egos oftentimes won't let us say stuff like that. No, man, I just left because she wasn't right, or she wasn't respecting me, or whatever. We say stuff like that. But so I think you will help a lot of people, a lot of men. That Tracy, I want to ask you, the song, you said it came from your wife's prayer time. What made it let me see. I want to say what made the song. What made you decide to to put it out? It was more than just something you wrote, something you heard. What made it? What made it such that you had to get it out, other than just keep it in your repertoire, keep it in your portfolio? If you understand what I'm saying.
The simplicity of it.
Okay.
It was very catchy. But it was very profound.
Right.
And then I wrote the bridge for it. I said it needed to go somewhere and then go out to the end of the vamp. And I know at the time, she said that she got tired of hearing songs that just with repetition but didn't say anything.
Right.
I said, okay, so I said, well, give it to me. I'll take it from there. So I took it, and as I got into it, I felt God actually leading me. It needs to go here. It needs to go here and do that. I said, okay, let me modulate. And okay. So I began to work on it, and I got caught up in it and musicianship, and I got some of the greatest musicians to play on it. And it just went from here and just took off.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
I was amazed how it came together pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
We may get a chance if you've got a little part of it that you can give us, maybe just that inch, the hook. If you can give us some of that later on, so you get that ready, because the song is awesome. Kim, you alluded to it, and I wanted to ask you this question: how did the store get started? How did you get started? Merchandising these.
It originally started as a birthday or Christmas, I can't remember, gift for my partner who was very into the Negro League. Now, when we started this, it was in '98.
Okay.
So the internet was not prevalent. It was very hard to find things. So, I made some phone calls. I found a company. They mailed me a catalog. I ordered some things. Long story short, the things that I ordered for him and gave him were things that he had designed, because what I didn't realize is his background is architecture. And in the early '90s, the museum was basically trying to kind of revitalize the line. So they had a contest saying, hey, they're looking for submissions. And he was at North Carolina School of Architecture at State, and he submitted some, and the things that he submitted were designs that were accepted. And the things that I bought that I liked were designs that he had done when he was in college.
Okay.
So we started working there was a company in New York, because people were like, he's like, hey, I like this. I never realized things would come to fruition. So he got some things from them, kind of started working with them, doing events, but it was just kind of supposed to be a side hustle. He was still in architecture. I was running hotels. But people were very responsive to it. And he was realizing that, there really is a need, because people don't know about this history. And so he left architecture, and 5 years later, I left hotel management. We started working and getting licensed, with the museum. All the apparel is licensed either through the Negro League Museum, the Buffalo Soldier Museum, or the Tuskegee Airmen Association, because you want to make sure that anything that anybody buys, money goes back to the people that created it.
Oh, okay.
And it just kind of went from there. You never would have told me, like the authors were talking about, I'm not a writer. I was going to be running hotels and retire, and that was going to be my thing. And man plans and God laughs. So,
right.
Here I am.
It is interesting how our directions, we start doing things that we figure this is what we're going to do, and then something happens that takes us in a different direction. That's why I guess you can never say never. I want to ask each of you to help somebody who is an entrepreneur, author, dreamer. What has been your biggest hurdle or challenge, and how did you get over it? I'm going to start with Celeste, and then I'm going to go. I'm going to have the ladies go first, Miss Celeste, and then Kimberly. What has been your biggest hurdle as it relates to the book, the business, and how did you get over it?
I would say me. I was my biggest critic. My biggest setback was myself. Not feeling adequate, or not feeling secure that I can do it, that I can accomplish it, that somebody's going to support me. So I would say that I was my own problem. Until I began to really seek direction from God, and He began to show me who I am, what He created me to be, what I'm to do, and at that point, it was almost like, I don't care what people think. This is who I am. This is who God created me to be. And at that point, I began to flourish in ministry, writing my book. I'm a certified life coach now. I even went to courses to get my certification to be a life coach. It was at that point when I recognized who God called me to be and who God created me to be that I was able to be. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The hurdle was you. Was it you connected to what you thought people thought of you or what they would say, or just your own feelings of inadequacy, or what? When you said you,
I think it's both.
Okay.
Inner me, my own self. You know, when you experience a lot in life, sometimes it brings your self-esteem here. And that's where I was here. So me doing anything good or anything great, I just didn't think it was possible. And then also wondering what people are going to think. Is they going to accept it? Will they believe in me? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So not just me, but people. But I got over that. I got over that.
Right.
Definitely over that.
Good. Ms.
Yes.
Kim, same question. What has been your biggest hurdle or challenge, and how did you get over it? Because there are people wanting to go into business, wanting to do, you know, what I call out there-ish type things. And so, you know, each of you, let me say this, each of you are what I call pictures of possibility. There are people in my life that I have that are pictures of possibility, looking at them and saying, oh, that can happen. You know, that can happen. I can do that. You know, coming from a place where I came from, low self-esteem, used to fight all the time, was put back in junior high school, all those sort of things. And so you all are pictures of possibility for people. So what has been your biggest hurdle, Ms. Kim, and how did you get over it?
There have actually been a number of them. But I think I'm going to kind of piggyback on yourself being your biggest hurdle, but then add to that other people. Because first there's the fear factor of I'm in corporate America. I've got my title, my benefits, my position, my staff, my comfort level, you know. So there's a certain comfort in that. Even if you're not really making any money, you just have a comfort in knowing that you have a paycheck coming in, whether you're happy about what you're doing or not. So there's the fear of leaving that and stepping out on faith. And on top of that, you have people that will always be, you're going to leave this good job you got to sell t-shirts, you know, or I can't believe you got this degree and, you know, you just going to go and do this or that. And it's hard when you feel like you can do something and you kind of feel confident in it, but then the people around you not feeling like, my family's always been very supportive. And that's all I really care about. But you still are always going to have somebody that sees you trying to do, and they're going to have something to say. One thing that I always talk to people, especially young women, that will come and they'll say, you know, I want to start a business, or I hate my job, or just people in general that are interested in doing something themselves. My biggest piece of advice is never take criticism for somebody that you would not go to for advice.
Wow, wait a minute.
Say that one more time.
Say that one more time.
Yes.
That's powerful.
That was good.
Never take criticism from someone that you would not go to for advice.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
And nothing more need be said, because if I wouldn't go to you to find out, well, how do you think I should do this? Why do I care about what your opinion is? Because you're only going to do something that's going to bring me down. You're not going to do something to lift me up, to elevate me, to help me be better.
Yes. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I'm not being a good host. I have to write that down.
Me too.
That is powerful.
You can all have that one. You can all have that one for free.
Okay. Because I was trying to find some money to send you an offering for that one.
Come on.
Never take criticism from people that you would not take advice from. Woo! That is powerful.
And once you can do that, Now I want royalties from that song.
I heard Tracy. He kind of said that a little light, but I heard that. See, that's and Kevin is a musician also, so that those kind of things, you know. So when it comes out, you gotta give her
give her a prop, give her a point.
Give her something. You gotta give her a point or two. You know.
Yeah.
That was powerful, Kim.
A ticket to the Grammy Awards or something, you know.
Yeah.
That was powerful. I love that. And so, Kevin, I'm going to ask you and Tracy the same question. What has been your biggest hurdle, and biggest hurdle or challenge as it relates to, you know, your book or the music, this particular song for Tracy, or in your music career in general? So, Kevin and Tracy, same question. Biggest hurdle or challenge, and how did you get over it?
Yeah, I have to echo my sisters. Fear.
Wow.
Just fear of feeling that you're not as good as everybody else. Fear of just, you know, sometimes, you know, being fearful of success, that it might be successful, you know what I mean? And how to handle that, you know. The other thing to get over it that I've learned to do to get over it, I just have to learn how to trust God.
Right.
And that has been like my recipe for everything. Just trust what he's saying to me. You know, it may sound far-fetched to the normal person, but if God is speaking it to you, it's meant to be, it's meant to happen. And just being sensitive to the Spirit, that's one thing that I've, you know, that helped me tremendously to overcome.
That is powerful. I love that. Tracy, same question. Biggest hurdle, challenge, how did you get over it? Because I want people watching to know that when they have difficulty in their entrepreneur endeavor, their book, their song, they're not by themselves. You know, that sometimes people may think, man, I can't do anything right. Man, I'm having this problem. No, anybody that's attempted anything is going to have some problems. I've had books that nobody bought, events nobody came to, lost thousands of dollars. That's how I know my wife really loves me, because not just for my money, because I've lost so much money. So that's why she really does love me. You know. So Tracy, biggest challenge, hurdle, and help somebody. How did you get through it?
I have to agree with Kevin. A lot of times when you play the background for so long and afraid to step out, there is a fear factor of acceptance.
Wow.
And if you don't accept yourself first, you will never jump the hurdle, and you will never jump.
Woo! Wait a minute. You've been hanging out with Kimberly. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
If you don't accept yourself, you'll never jump. Basically, you have to first accept you, and that, you know, that you're good enough, that God makes you perfect and what He made you perfect to do.
That's right.
And so what I've discovered, even as a songwriter, as a musician and an artist and so forth, that to be vulnerable is to be truth.
Amen.
Wow. Wow.
How do you put yourself out there to be vulnerable? But okay, to be vulnerable, be true. Okay, they're not gonna like my song. Okay, nobody's gonna buy baseball caps from Negro Leagues. Nobody's gonna buy them. So you're vulnerable. How do you get past the vulnerability to say, I'm still gonna write, I'm still gonna open the store anyway? How did you get past that?
Who are you to say, who can tell me that I can't?
Okay.
See, the thing is that at the end of the day, you got to accept you.
Right.
I've accepted. I had a prayer time this morning. I told God, I said, I accept what you say about me.
Okay.
I accept what you think about me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So regardless of what I think about me, what does God think about me?
That's right.
Right.
If I can accept that part, then there's nothing that I can't do.
Right.
Come on.
Wow.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
So I can start this store selling, this online store selling caps and Negro League memorabilia, even though I'm a female, even though I'm this, I can still do that and people will come.
They will come.
Okay.
They will come based
Absolutely.
upon your integrity, who you are as an individual. See, the one thing we always forget, God is in control of everything.
Right.
He brings the promotion. He's the one who's promoting you.
That's right.
Okay. All we need is the organ right now.
Come on.
Hey,
we got a piano.
Right there. I love it. And you all have done something. You know, we still got some time, but you all have helped so many people that are still shelled. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
You know, wanting to come out, wanting to break out of the cocoon to become this butterfly, author, singer, writer, whatever the case may be. And so they've seen people that have had themselves as an issue, but still did it anyway. That is powerful. I love that. Let me take this break right quick and to do some commercials right quick and to just do some sponsoring things right now. As I said earlier, our show, The Encouragement Conversation, brought to you in part by my brand new book. It's called Encouragements from a Formerly Frustrated Dreamer. That's what I was, a frustrated dreamer. And so the information in here will help you. There's 3 sections in here. One's called quick reads. There's a quick read here that called Just Because They Don't See It Doesn't Mean You Can't Be It. That's one of the and then there's another one that says greatness is not my destination, it's my transportation. And so there are other chapters in here. And then the last section is filled with just some original encouragement quotes. One on page 69 says, use your tribulation as transportation to your transformation. You can get your copy at Amazon.com for a limited time. If you want an autographed copy, you can send $22 to the Cash App Shigg-Biz, capital S, lowercase H-I-G-G, capital B-I-Z. Also, if you have a product, a book, a business that you want the world to know about, consider being a guest on the Encouragement Conversation. We're booking September and October right now. We have people that we reach anywhere from Fontana to France, from Ghana to Gardena, from Italy to Inglewood, California. So if you'd like to talk about your product, contact us at drshig@gmail.com, drshig@gmail.com. And for those of you who are watching this live, if you ever said, I want to write a book, on August the 29th, I'm teaching a workshop, a virtual workshop called I Want to Write My Book for First-Time Authors. Contact us at drshig@gmail.com, drshig@gmail.com if you want more concerning the registration on that. Back to my powerful guest, Miss Kimberly Green. She's the proprietor of Black. She sells memorabilia from the Negro League. She sells caps and jerseys, also Tuskegee Airmen and the Buffalo Soldiers. Mr. Tracy Carter, author, singer, musician. Mr. Kevin Bishop Artry, author, singer, musician, and Celeste Bullock. These are our guests tonight. I want to ask you, I want to start from with Mr. Kevin. What will people get? What is their takeaway from reading your book?
The biggest takeaway is really the journey of a man, or what can happen with a man or a woman really follows Christ. Okay. You know, when you really tap into what God has for you, you know, no, like we were speaking earlier, no confusion of fear and all these things. When you really tap in to what God has for you, you know, I think that's when you know you're going to see your best you. You know, that's what this book the series is bringing out. Just watching someone that knew God try to go from knowing God to trying to do things his own way, to really fall on his face, and then finding God and really finding the purpose of what he's really meant to be on this earth for. So that's what the reader will get from this book, this series.
Miss Bullock, same question. What will they get from your book? The C-section, and Mr. Kevin's book is called Life as I Know It, but the C-section, what will people get from reading your book?
To never count yourself out.
Wow.
No matter how hard it is, no matter the trials and tribulations that you face, don't think that there's no purpose because there's pain, because sometimes there's purpose in pain.
Yeah.
And that's my story, that God still has a purpose for us. Sometimes pain is purposeful, but it's still purpose. And when God does things, he does things well. So don't count yourself out because you may not be this or that, or this may happen or that may happen. Never count yourself out, because when you count yourself out, I learned that God counts you in. When people count you out, God counts you in. Wow. And God counted me in, and I'm grateful for that. So that's the takeaway.
Wow.
The C-section.
Okay.
I need that right now.
I got you, brother.
Okay. Tracy.
No.
Song. What?
Yes.
What do you have a piece of it that you can let us hear?
Sure.
Go ahead, let us hear it.
Only with your love will I move. Only with your love will I move. Only with the Holy Spirit falling down on me will do. Only with your love. Only with your grace will I move. Only with your grace will I move.
Wow.
Only with the Holy Spirit falling down on me.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. And as you listen to it, the build up and the practicality of what you're saying, I love that. What do you want this song to do to people?
Change the atmosphere of their worship.
Wow. Unpack that.
Change the atmosphere of your worship. You have to be humble and to understand who God is in your life.
Okay.
For anything to work.
Okay.
For anything to work. If your worship's not right, nothing won't be right.
I love that.
Right.
I love that. I love that. That's good. Miss Kim, you sell caps and jerseys and other memorabilia, but it's about more than just caps and t-shirts. You said earlier when you were talking about people say you're going to leave this good job to sell t-shirts. What you do is more than just caps and t-shirts. Help somebody understand that. Just like I asked them, what do
history.
you want people to get from the book? Getting something from, purchasing from you, it's more than just a t-shirt and a cap. Help us understand that.
Well, I like to tell people it's an experience. But that's really, but really that's what it is. The physical apparel is kind of just a byproduct. The history itself is what's important. Because you can go and buy a t-shirt anywhere, but you have an experience when you get it from me. Because one of the things that we focus on is...
I'm sorry. You can buy a t-shirt anywhere, but here you get an experience.
Exactly. It's an experience. Because my goal is every time anybody deals with me, whatever the situation is, when you walk away, whether it's with a bag in your hand or not, you leave feeling a little bit smarter and a little bit better than when you walked up to me. One thing about what we do is we have such a strong, powerful history, and we've spent so many years being told otherwise. And because the only Black people that did anything are Harriet Tubman, Booker T. Washington, and Martin Luther King.
Right.
And we're only Black in February. And we're like, no, you are Black year round. And we've got customers that are in their 70s that will come up to me and say, is the Negro League still around? I'm like, well, no, we're not Negroes anymore. But there's people that just don't know.
Right.
There's so much history. And then being able to have the opportunity to spend time, like we've done the Tuskegee Airmen Convention, the Negro League Baseball conferences, the Buffalo Soldiers conferences, and spending time with men in their 80s going into their 100s that were there, and they kind of adopt you, because what I found is oftentimes people that are seniors, their family is just like, oh, that's just grandpa, that's just Uncle Joe, and don't really have any interest in their backstory. We do that in our own families. Doing this business made me really take the time to sit down and revisit how I deal with my parents. because I'm like, you know what? There's phenomenal things that they've done that I don't know about, because it's like, okay, you're just mom and dad. But it's like, no, you've done great things. And there's a lot of history that is dying. And if we don't keep it out there and get in the forefront, when these people pass, the history dies with them. You know, and that's really what the focus is, making sure that people know the importance of the Negro League, what the contributions were of these players, not just to integrating baseball, but to other sports. Because the Negro League, with Jackie Robinson leaving and integrating baseball, led to football, led to basketball, led to hockey, you know, but there had to be a first. With the Tuskegee Airmen, without them, World War II would have been lost. Without the Buffalo Soldiers, you know, the West never would have been settled. You know, it's not just about Bob Marley singing a song. It's about know where you've come from. Our logo or motto or whatever you want to call it is empowering our future by honoring and preserving our past. Because it's really true. If you really don't know your backstory, you really can't really appreciate where you are and try to move forward. Awesome. And that's what we try to encourage everybody. Know what you're doing, know where you've come from, know your greatness.
Right.
Know how awesome you really are. Don't believe the hype. You know.
That is powerful. Oh, what caused you to move from quote unquote just caps and tees to, I mean, from the Negro League to moving into you know, the Tuskegee Airmen and the Buffalo Soldiers? What caused you to move into that direction also?
Customers, actually. A lot of the growth and diversity in the product line has been customer based. Because one thing, and that's with anything, whether you're an author, whether you're a writer, whether you're an entrepreneur, if you have a customer base, if you're dealing with the public, you have to listen to them. Because oftentimes they'll be able to say things or see things in a different, because, you know, we get in our bubble. This is what I do. This is what my purpose is. But people are like, you got some other purposes. And we do events. I mean, we do government buildings, we do military bases, VA hospitals, jazz concerts, Black professional conferences. And at a number of these different events, when we first started, it was just, you know, concerts. You know, if you go to a concert and you see the vendors in the tents selling stuff. Right. And we were somewhere and somebody was like, well, how come you only do the Negro League? Because there's so many different elements of Black history. Why are you limiting yourself? And we didn't think we were limiting ourselves. We're like, hey, we got the Negro League. What you talking about? But then it's like, he's like, but there were, like, you don't see this anywhere. But they're like, but we did so much, you know, because a lot of people didn't know Jackie Robinson was in the Negro Leagues. I guess they figured they just, you know, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays all started in the Negro Leagues, but people don't know that, you know. But even Jackie Robinson, before he was with the, he went into the major leagues, he was with the 761st Tank Battalion, which is an all-Black unit of military. A lot of people don't know about that. So it's like there's so many ways that the history is intertwined that it's like you need to visit all of that. Don't just limit it to the Negro League, because a lot of these players were members of other organizations. You know, the Buffalo Soldiers, the Tuskegee Airmen, the 761st Tank Battalion, Montford Point Marines, Golden 13, Red Ball Express, Harlem Hellfighters. I mean, you can go on and on and on. And it's like we just want to make sure that all that history gets out there.
History, I like that. I want to ask Kevin and then Ms. Bullock. This process of writing, what has it taught you? What have you gained from it? What has it done to or for you?
It definitely, for me, it has built confidence. A level of confidence that I can do anything that I really put my mind to. So I would say confidence, that I am secure. I'm confident in what I do. I can do it. I can do all things through Christ, but I can do it. So I think for me, writing this book and accomplishing it totally out, it's a confidence for me.
Okay. Same question.
Yeah, I agree. Same for me. Confidence. Also, personally, patience. Taught me how to be patient. Patient, you know, because you know, when it came to be, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm write this book. I'm ready to get it, you know. But there's some days where, you know, nothing came to me to write, and you get frustrated and you want to sit back and like, oh, I want to make something happen. But God has taught me how to be patient. Just go with the flow. Just, you know, and So that's a big thing for me. Patience, just
Mm,
you know.
that's good. That's good. Tracy, same question. Going through, this is not your first project, but this song or writing, how has it benefited you? I mean, you have the song out, you completed it, but how did it grow you? What did you learn from it?
Well, I mean, like Kevin and even Celeste, everybody, I think there's a remnant of words, patience that comes out in that. Way, I think the benefit of it is always completing something that you set your mind out to do.
Right.
Yes.
The whole idea is that you finish.
That's right.
A lot of people say they're going to do something and they never finish. So one thing that I think I pride myself on, even in the midst of creating, is to be a finisher. You gotta finish, even when you have all the frustration. We get writer's block. We get frustrated how we want to know if our song or book is either up to par, or is it in the culture? Can it reach the culture? Will it hit the right? All that goes through your head.
Right.
Trying to figure. And I think sometimes we analyze, because as creators we analyze too much. And so I'm at the point now in my life. You know what? I'm not analyzing anything. I'm just gonna do, and I'm gonna finish.
Yes.
And then when you get past the point of analyzing, like, let everybody else analyze. I say, because some may like, the script that some fall on stony ground, some fall on fertile ground.
Right.
It's that whole thing, because some things will work for certain people, some things won't work for everybody.
Right.
But it will work. It would just initially work.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, at the end of the day, I just think that just be a finisher, and not, don't try not to rush yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't want to put anything crazy out either, and not have it where it's actually up to par of excellence.
Right. Exactly. I love that. Yeah. Tracy, my wife has already gotten booked up the song to be sung by our praise and when we get back to church, the two men that do praise and worship, she's already campaigning for them to sing the song.
Yeah.
So she wrote the comment in the comment section. So I'm in my office at home. She's in her office at the house. And she's over there yelling and campaigning.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so wanted to ask you, each of you, how has, and I'm going to start with Kim, how has the present situation of COVID and shutdown and all that sort of thing, how has that affected your campaigning, your marketing, your promotion, your selling? How has that affected it? And, how have you gotten through it, Ms. Kim?
Well, at first it was pretty much a shock, because 85% of my business is in person.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had a website, but it's never really been a focus. It's just been kind of a, hey, I'm here, get it from me now. But if you're not going to, you can go get it over there. So when COVID hit, we had to basically just stop. And it's really a blessing in disguise.
Really?
Because one is giving me the opportunity. It makes you stop, rethink, and reevaluate everything, not just business-wise, but just life. We're in New Jersey now. My parents are here, and we decided, what, family is the most important thing. No matter what, you've got money, but money doesn't matter if you don't have your health. Money doesn't matter if you don't have the people that you love.
Right.
So we came here just to make sure that everything was good with them. And then just took the time to sit down, and I rebuilt the website, started getting more into social media, and doing that has done things like what we're doing now. Because 6 months ago, I would never be on this panel, because I would not have joined all of these groups, because I would not have upgraded the website, because I would have not needed to, because I would have been on the road.
Okay.
So this has actually opened up a number of doors and a number of opportunities that I would not have necessarily looked at before, because like you said earlier, we get tunnel vision. This is how I do, I've got my schedule 40 weeks a year. We're 6 months a year, we're on the West Coast, 3 months a year, we're in the DC area. So we're always somewhere. So I don't really have to worry about other things. So this really makes you, refocus, rethink, and just be grateful, because there's so many people that are in bad situations right now that,
That's
you know, I
true.
just feel blessed to still be able to be productive. And history, this is the 100th anniversary of the Negro League. So
Okay.
right now, people are actually looking and focused on what we're doing. So it's given me the opportunity to have conversations with people of all cultures. You know, it's not just Black business. You know, we've got customers of all races, but it's an opportunity to educate, to, you know, to reevaluate and to appreciate.
Oh, good. Oh, I like the way you said that. All right.
See, you inspired me.
I'm gonna look at this on the down later on after the show, and I'm gonna have to write that down. Kevin, same thing. How has COVID affected you? Because I know, well, from an author's perspective, you're also, you know, in music, but how has it affected? Because, like I said, all of my stuff was shut down. Book signings, yearly events that I have. I was supposed to go to Vegas for a book signing. You know, when all this happened, all this shut down. So, how has it affected you, and what have you done about it?
Well, for me, it's actually been a blessing. I actually picked up a lot. Yeah, I really believe God had to put life on pause for me, you know, and shut everything down in order for me to do more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Wow.
had to the distractions of life, just going to work and doing all those other things, kind
Wow.
of took precedent over what I was supposed to do. So God puts pause so I can do the things I'm supposed to do. So I like this show is new. I'm able to do this show. I'm able to do other shows and still promote, you know, and I've seen myself do more and reach more now in this COVID pandemic
Wow.
than I have before, you know,
That's
while life
great.
was going on. So I'm
Okay.
Right.
blessed. I'm
Okay.
blessed.
Okay. Okay. Miss Elise, same question. How have you been affected by COVID? And
Well, in the beginning, I had two book signings, one in March and I think one in April. So of course those were canceled. So I was discouraged for a moment, because I feel like just when I'm getting started now, life want to happen.
right,
Um, but anyway, it ended up being a blessing because actually I sold more books now than I ever have before. So this was kind of, you know, like somebody said, this was not a pandemic. This was a pandemic planned by God. This was
oh,
planned by
Wait a minute.
God.
wait a minute.
I like that.
This
A
not just a
plan,
pandemic, but a
pandemic.
plandemic. It was
Yes.
planned by God, and God knew that we needed this time even to get our book sales right.
Right.
So, because I feel like now people have more time to, uh, you know, read your book or time to sit down and look online. Where before we running and busy, we don't have time. Now I even have more time. If it had not been for the pandemic, I wouldn't be on this show. So I believe that God has a plandemic, and through all of this, I think I've sold more books now than I ever have before.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Wow. So Tracy, same question. How we've got a couple minutes before we close, and then I want to get you all's information so people can contact you. How has COVID affected you? Because you know you can't do any concerts right now or anything of that nature. So how has COVID affected you?
I have a split side of it. One side is bad and one side is good. The bad side is not touring, not playing for a lot, shows canceled, all that.
Right.
Flip side, because I'm an artist and a producer and a songwriter, I began to finish my projects that I've been holding out, trying to get done. So I'm able to, like now, I dropped another EPK of my project called Peace of God, which is 5 songs, which will be out in 3 weeks.
Okay.
I have it on my website. You can get it soon. I did a listening party about 2 days ago, and about 50 people showed up on Facebook, and they were like, "Okay, when can we get this now?" So,
right.
the good thing is, it's allowed me to actually finish some things that were undone.
Okay. Okay. So there is watch this shameless plug. One of my quick reads book called Encouragements for Your Accomplishments. There's a chapter in there called that says, in every awful opposition, there's an awesome opportunity. And so each of you have just proven that awesome opportunity. And so, Miss Kimberly, tell us how people can get in touch with you. They want to purchase something. They want to contact you to come and speak. How can people get your merchandise, buy from you, and reach you?
You could actually go through our website. All contact information is there. NegroLeague1920.com. Real simple. At Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube is also NegroLeague1920.com.
Okay, give it to us one more time.
Facebook is Okay. Website, www.negroleague1920, negroleague1920.com.
Okay.
Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram are also negro1920.com. Our Facebook is actually Black Before You, Black letter B letter.
Okay, you broke up. Give it to us again. On the Facebook, your feed broke up.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. The Facebook is Black Before You. So Black letter B, number 4 letter U.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
For
good.
the Facebook. All the others, Twitter, Instagram, and our Negro League 1920.
Okay, and if someone wanted to reach you to come out and speak or teach, they can go through those same places?
Correct. Phone number, email address, website, all of that is in the same place.
Okay. Ms. Bullock, how can people reach you? How can they get the book? How can they contact you?
Okay, I am on social media. My name is Celeste Bullock on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Coach Celeste Bullock. And my Gmail is celestebullock@gmail.com.
And so they can get the book from those places if they want to purchase a copy of the book?
Oh, I'm sorry. My book is on Amazon.com.
Okay.
If you want to purchase the book, you can either DM me and I can send you a copy, or you can go to Amazon.com. You can find my book there.
Okay. Okay. And the other places they can reach you if they want you to come out and speak or something of that nature. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kevin, same thing. How do people get the book? How do they get reach you?
Social media, it's you can reach me at time I always spell with a Y, time music. That's on Instagram and on Facebook. You can reach me if you want to contact me. It'll be Timeless Entertainment, Timeless TY, Timeless Entertainment 555 at yahoo.com. You can purchase my book on barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, amazon.com.
Trunkofmycar.com. Oh, no.
Yeah, all of them. And then also have my project. I have a new single that's out, OMG, which is on Apple Music. I have a whole project called Bishop Matters of the Heart, which is on Apple Music and Google Play, all those too. So check it out. Check it out. It's all out there.
I'm sorry, I should have got. Okay, we might have to have you come back, play a little clip of that.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Tracy, how can people get your music? Because my wife, she wrote it in here, and as soon as we finish, she's gonna come in here and ask me, go get it. So, how can we get it, and how can people reach you?
You can reach me at TreyCarMusic.com. Like Kevin says, every platform: iTunes, Amazon, Tidal, Deezer, Shazam. But you can go on Instagram is TreyCar1. On Facebook is TreyCar, aka Tracy Carter.
Okay. Trey Car is TR. Give it to us again.
TRAYCAR.
Okay. But Trey Car, TAY Car. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. I want to tell all of you, thank you so much. And to our viewers, you have seen for yourself pictures of possibilities. People doing great things in business, in music, in literature. And as I've always said, if it has been done, that means it can be done, and it can be done by you. Each of these people have done some powerful things. And so I want you to remember them. I want you to go to their sites, get their merchandise to benefit them, but you will get something from it also. And you've heard so much tonight that's going to help you, going to strengthen you, going to help you with your dream. You can do it. And so I want you to continue to be blessed. And I want you to know that if you want to, you can follow me on Instagram at EncourageMan, the letter EncourageMan, Twitter, EncourageMan. You can find me on Facebook at Your EncourageMINT. Mint is spelled M-I-N-T. YouTube, the same thing, EncourageMINT, M-I-N-T, or just Dwayne E. Shigg. And so I thank you so much for watching. And you can, if you want to see some more of our videos, encouragement videos, you can go to my encouragement page, my Facebook page, Your EncourageMINT, and you can see some of the videos, encouragement things that we do. Mr. Carter, Ms. Green, Ms. Bullock, Mr. Archery, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you so much for helping our audience and letting us know all the great things that you all are doing. We greatly appreciate you being the example for us of what can be done. And as always, I'm Dwayne Shigg, and I want you to remember that your dream is doable, and our guests tonight have shown you that the dream is doable. You can go get it. You stay encouraged. Be blessed. Good night, everyone. You all stay put for a second, but good night, everyone. We appreciate it. Thank you so kindly.